What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is Orioles Today, where I am dropping new content every single day on all things the Baltimore Orioles. And as always, I am Sean Ferguson, and I truly appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Please like and subscribe and get yourself notifications for new videos, like I said, that will be dropping daily. And I would love to hear from you guys as well, so please leave your comments down at the bottom. Let me know what you thought about today's show, about the topics that I went over, and let me know about future content that you want to hear in future episodes. It's off-season time in the big leagues. It's, as baseball fans, diehard baseball fans, this is one of the best times of year because so much is going on so fast. So there's so much to cover. So let me know down at the bottom if there are some things that you want to hear me talk about in upcoming videos. I will look at all the comments that you guys leave, and I'll be sure to get into those in future videos. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. It is off-season time. The World Series is over, and it is time. It's time for that snowball to start rolling. There's so much that's going to happen so fast because once the World Series ended, free agency is about to begin. Baseball is different in a way when it comes to other sports of how they handle contracts. I would probably say football in the NFL is the closest to it when it comes to tendering contracts and franchise tagging and things like that. The MLB has their own way of doing it, and what you're going to see is this upcoming Thursday, which I'm really bad at the dates, that is going to be the 7th of November. You are going to see free agency truly begin. And that is because once the World Series ended, there was kind of a 5-day grace period where teams can renegotiate contracts with their own players. But once Thursday hits, it's off to the races. They can go anywhere that they choose. So right now we are in a stage of qualifying offers. And qualifying offers is one of those things like tendering contracts or franchise tag. What is qualifying offers? Qualifying offers is where players are set to become free agents that are out of arbitration. They don't have any club control anymore. And the way that you can qualify an offer is every year the MLB and the Players Association comes up with a number. And the number this year is just a tick over $22 million. So if you got a player that you can't really negotiate a contract with, it's kind of similar to a franchise tag in the NFL. If you can't really negotiate a contract with the guy, you guys can't agree on a number, you can offer him a qualifying offer. You give him the offer to be a year, like I said, it'll be a tick over $22 million. That player can agree to that contract. If they agree, you're stuck with the $22 million because in the MLB, all contracts are guaranteed. So you're paying that player. But it's unlike a franchise tag where they're kind of stuck with it. No, they don't have to agree to the qualifying offer. They can say no and go elsewhere. But they can agree to it and you're stuck paying them that money. But once they're in that qualifying offer, you still have time and the ability to renegotiate a contract with them. So what the Orioles are looking at right now is a mere 3 players that have the opportunity to receive a qualifying offer. And a big part of that is because they have so many players on their team that are under club control because they're so young. They have not been in the big leagues long, so they'll be in that arbitration phase for a while. Zach Eflin, Tomoyuki Sagano, and Gary Sanchez are the 3 guys that could receive qualifying offers from the Orioles. Will they? Probably not. Sagano was a guy that was rumored to be dealt at the trade deadline. He came over, I believe, 36-year-old rookie. Had a decent year. Nothing spectacular, but he's a guy that was rumored heavily to be dealt at the trade deadline. He didn't. He stayed put, but I don't see the Orioles extending a qualifying offer for him. And then Gary Sanchez, there's no way. He was that nice veteran backup catcher for Adley Rutschman, and he was good when he played, but he was joining the plethora of his fellow Orioles teammates that just stayed injured all the time. And now you called up Samuel Basallo, so there's no way Gary Sanchez is getting a qualifying offer. The only guy that had a chance was Zach Eflin. That was until Eflin got hurt with the others back in August, and there's a good chance he's going to miss a chunk of the year next year as well. And that's going to put a damper on the chances that Eflin's going to get a qualifying offer from the O's now. I don't think they will. If those guys don't get qualifying offers, then they are free to sign. And the only way that you could do that too, I missed this one part. The only way that you can give a qualifying offer to a guy is if the player's never received one before. And again, those three guys that I just named fall into that scenario. So it can get a little complicated too. If we don't offer them a qualifying offer and teams snag them up, then the Orioles can get compensatory draft picks for them as well. So there's good and bad sides to both of it. And we're not the only team. We only have 3 players, so there's going to be a lot of teams out there with qualifying offers as well. So it's going to be interesting because we can also go on the offensive and snag players, but then we also have to consider giving up compensatory draft picks for them as well. So a lot goes into it. This is a big one, so I'm really excited over the next couple of days to see how the Orioles handle it. I don't think they're going to hand out qualifying offers, which is good. But once that free agency market starts, it's going to be really exciting to see if they go and snag anyone and say, okay, we'll give up these draft picks because we'd rather have this player. It's going to be something to keep an eye on. Like I said, the next couple of days, we're still in that grace period. But once Thursday comes, all gloves are off. And that begs the question, what big free agents are the Orioles thinking about? I'm looking at daily rumors of who the Orioles are going to either go after, or so many different journalists saying, oh, I've heard about this. They're talking about this trade or this trade or this trade. Well, trades are cool and everything, but you have to give up more than just money for them. Now, I know the Orioles, they've given up a little money with the new owner. Again, the $50 million contract to O'Neill and the big extension, I believe it was $67 million over 8 years to Basayo. That is an absolutely great start. When free agency starts, though, what you're going to do with that? Because you don't have to give up players' draft picks for these guys. This is free agency. We don't have to do trades. And the biggest spot they are looking at is starting pitching and bullpen. Starting pitching and bullpen. When it comes to your farm system, you're pretty sweet in every other spot. You're not like golden, but you're good. And that one spot that you're not is pitching arms. Now, this past trade deadline, you did a lot to kind of get that back, get the farm system back when it comes to pitching, but you didn't do it with immediate arms. You did it with guys that are going to take between 2 and 4 years to get ready to be in the big leagues, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that just means you need to address it more quickly. So free agency, you kind of look at some of these guys, a lot of the guys, do you want to bring some of these guys on, especially with their age? The guys in their early 30s, I wouldn't mind, but like a Chris Sale, are you going to try to go after him? Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez. These guys are proven arms. You're just going to have to give up a pretty penny to go get them. Freddie Peralta, Jack Flaherty, he's a former O2. He was not great when he was here, but he has turned it around since he left here. Those are definitely, I mean, why not? I'm not saying go get all of them, but you can go at least go get one of them, and you can build around what you have. If Eflin doesn't miss a lot of time, then you can bring him back, and you still got Trevor Rogers there as well. Are you going to possibly bring back Sugano? You just don't know. There's so much up in the air. And again, you got to look at your injury situation too, but there's just a massive list of guys that you could possibly go after. I see a Zach Gallen there, a Kyle Hendricks. Now, again, all these guys are either in their early or late 30s, but these are proven veteran arms. So it would not hurt to go get one of them, especially if you can get one when the rest of them kind of go, or you can get one early and kind of try to save yourself from breaking the bank when it comes to that. You don't have to break the bank for one guy. You can go get someone that he's not completely off everyone's radar, but he's not so hot that you're going to have to give up close to $200 million for the guy. The O's are never going to be that team that are going to go for that kind of guy anymore, I don't think. So, I mean, they got the list. And I'm hopeful, even with the names I just named, which weren't many, they at least try to go get one of them. Not all of those guys are going to be guys that are going to be asking for a massive, massive deal. Go do a 1 or 2 year deal, something that won't kill you. You can do a 2 year deal with an option for that second year. I mean, Just something. We have to get another armor Baltimore. We have to get another armor Baltimore. What guy do you think the Orioles should go after? Let me know. I'm really interested to see what you guys think. I mean, I wasn't opposed to getting Jack Flaherty back, and they didn't go that route. They let him go elsewhere. I'm sure they still had a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from that. But yeah, let me know who you guys think the Orioles should go after in free agency when it comes to starting pitching arm. I don't believe we should go after any other position. I just don't, unless you get like one or two maybe veteran bats just for depth. And that begs the question too, what new faces are we going to see in the spring? And mainly when I say that is kind of what I've touched on before. The Orioles are just absolutely stocked when it comes to fresh talent. Are you still going to see guys make their way up? And one of them is Enrique Bradfield Jr., who I talked about. Are you going to see him in spring training? Is that going to be someone that the O's are going to start to give a chance to? Are you going to start to see some of these draft picks from 23 and from last year start to slowly but surely make their way up? And it kind of goes into the free agencies too. It's what kind of new faces are we going to see in spring training? I believe that you're going to have, again, not a break-the-bank situation, but I could definitely see the O's, kind of like they did last year. They brought on a Gary Sanchez, that veteran catcher. They can bring on a veteran in a few spots. And most likely going to be one more in the infield, in the outfield, and then starting pitching arms. Who are you going to see? Are the O's going to call up anyone from their farm system to come in, try to make this roster? They should. They have nothing to lose, if you ask me. They have absolutely nothing to lose. But again, Bradfield Jr. needs to be in spring. I would love to see him try to make this team. They probably won't. They'll probably have to kind of do a Paseo treatment with him and have him kind of start the year in the minors. Now, he might make spring training and make it to Florida, but he's probably not going to make the big league roster going into the season. He'll be in the minors for sure to start the year, which will break my heart, but I'll get over it. But I believe when spring training comes around, you're going to see at least two more starting pitchers that you didn't see last year. I know you did last year when they brought in Charlie Morton, which most of us hated. I know I'm not alone in that. And just the way the Orioles are, I'm sure you're going to see another guy pushing 40 that is going to be making his way to the Orioles. I don't know, let's say Chris Sale, he's 37 years old. Could the O's go after him? I would not be surprised. But as an Orioles fan, and I'm sure you're all aware, they're going to do some. That's just how they operate. You're gonna see Mike Elias pull the trigger on someone who shouldn't be there when there's plenty of guys that we much rather have on the team. So just get ready for that disappointment. It's just how it is. And I really truly think that with all of that being said, moves are going to be made. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be depression. There's going to be joy. There's going to be sadness. There's going to be every single emotion that you can feel, because that's what it's like to be an Orioles fan. We won 100 games a couple years ago, and then we just finished this year 12 games below 500 with most the same of the roster. Anything could happen with this team, like I said, especially with Mike Elias still operating as general manager. This could be his final year. We will find out soon. But I do believe Albernaz is going to lead this team in the right direction. I believe he is just that young, fresh manager that the Orioles really needed. He's well-liked around the league. He was under Stephen Vogt with the Guardians. He got great mentorship there. And hopefully he could be in the ear of Elias and pull some of these triggers and get the Orioles what they need to get them where they need to be, back into the winner circle and competing in the AL East next year. Not wild card, which they could do, but let's get back to the AL East time. I really, truly believe Craig Albernaz is the guy for the Orioles. Super excited for that hire, and I believe this is a turnaround year. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, or who else you thought probably should have got a fair shake and a shot at that Orioles managerial position. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the channel. I really, really, truly appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. Get notifications for every video that I drop. Fresh, new content daily on all things the Baltimore Orioles. All season's here. I'm so excited. I know I'm not the only one. I really appreciate you guys. This is Orioles Today. I am Sean Ferguson, and I'll see you guys next time.